It is chilly, and I got to tell you that what a great time to sit back and pay attention to what you have going on tomorrow with the impeachment hearing for Alejandro Mayorkas that is going to continue. And one of the things that I find fascinating is some of the witnesses that you're going to bring on, because Tammy Nobles is a woman whose 20-year-old daughter, Kayla. The suspect in Kayla's death was an illegal alien, suspected to be an illegal alien, MS-13 gang member from El Salvador. Now, you and I both know, Congressman, because we've been talking about this for years, that the MS-13 gang members that have been coming in across the border pose a threat to Americans. So I think that her testimony is going to be crucial in the picture that you're trying to paint about bad guys coming across the southern border.
Yeah, we've taken the approach, both in that initial investigation that was 5 phases, that one of the key points here is that every American is at risk. And this, Miss Nobles is an example of this. Her 20-year-old daughter, Kayla, was raped and murdered by a minor, an unadmissible alien minor, but the ones that basically Biden is putting into this program, MS-13 gang member from El Salvador. And it's a tragedy the idea of losing a child is probably the most stressful, the hardest thing to ever deal with as a parent. But this young girl was just basically, her life was ended, and it's tragic. And the point here is that this can happen to any American with the current border policies that this administration is employing, which are in violation of the laws passed by Congress, total disregard of the constitutional powers granted to each of the separate branches of government. And it's that that willful disregard for the Constitution and for the powers of the Congress as a co-equal branch of government that is causing us to push for the impeachment.
Alejandro Mayorkas, of course, he for a long time said that the border was secure. And even just the other day, Congressman Mark Green, the president refused to say that what is going on the southern border is a crisis. Can I ask, because I truly don't understand this, and you're a lot smarter than I am, why are they running from the word crisis?
Well, to admit that it's a crisis is one step closer to admitting that it's your fault. So Mayorkas has insisted that his policies at the border have had no significant different impact than the policies of previous administrations. And that's just blatantly false. And it's blatantly false to say this isn't a crisis. I mean, I think it was Jay Johnson, Obama's Secretary of Homeland Security, who said 1,000 a day was a crisis. We've had as high as 14,000 a day. And so an average, the average has never gone below 3,000 under this president. So it's been a crisis from day one, a crisis of their making. Both the president's rhetoric during the election, but Mayorkas' policies as soon as he got the job of Secretary of Homeland Security.
Well, and mayors that are Democrat, Eric Adams in New York, you've got the mayor of Chicago. The governor for the state of Illinois was on TV just the other day. I played the audio begging Texas Governor Greg Abbott not to send any more migrants his way. And so,
Dan, if I can jump in here,
yep.
The shipping of migrants from Texas by the state of Texas is only 6% of what is getting shipped across the country. The Department of Homeland Security has several $100 million that it spends of U.S. taxpayer money to ship people all over the country. So when Eric Adams decries Texas, it's really 94% Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas that are shipping these people to New York and Chicago.
Well, you're absolutely right. And the other thing that I would throw in there is they're also just coming and going to those sanctuary cities and sanctuary states because of the benefits. I mean, in Illinois, I went through this yesterday. In Illinois, they have a lot of benefits that they give to the migrants, including they're giving them illegal aliens. They're giving them driver's licenses. That's been in the news in the last couple of days. Talk also about Congressman Mark Green joining us here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Cochise County Sheriff Mark, is it Donnells, a 40-year veteran of law enforcement, and this guy has been really in the thick of things as it relates to the battle against illegal immigration. Talk about not only him, but also, the Border Patrol agents that you'll also no doubt be interviewing in the sessions ahead.
Yeah, so the law enforcement guys are just getting hammered. They're having to execute. And actually, sheriffs in Tennessee, I speak to them all the time about this. They send me images, Eddie Ferris over in Cookeville, and my sheriff, John Fuson in, Montgomery County. Those guys are sending me images of what's impacting Tennessee. But this guy, Mark Daniels, he's actually the head of the Western States Sheriff's Association. So he can speak on behalf of all of these sheriffs that are in Texas and Arizona, New Mexico, the states that are bearing the brunt of this. And he has testified before us before. He's an excellent witness, and he will share even further the impact not only on law enforcement but local communities. And he is a very, very good witness. We're excited to have him back.